Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, this is Wheels from West to East, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make stuffed peppers. So this is a fairly easy recipe that takes about 1 hour, hour and a half maybe to do from start to finish. This is what the final recipe looks like, final food. So I'm just going to cut it to show you how it looks like inside. So this is stuffed peppers with meat and rice. So hope you like it, and see you in a moment when I'm gonna tell you what you need for this. Okay, so here's what you need to prepare the stuffed peppers. Obviously some nice peppers. Try to find green or red peppers that are not too weird in size and shape, like try to have them more straight like that. If they are too curved, it's going to be quite hard to stuff them. So yeah, this is just a little tip for the peppers. Other than that, you need an onion, some ground meat. As you can see, I'm using two types, pork and beef. Some rice, a little bit of flour. Then in terms of spices, you need some savory, paprika, some pepper, some salt, and finally, to finish it, you need an egg and some Bulgarian yogurt, or the closest that you can find, some cottage cheese or something like that. And of course, for the frying part, you need a little bit of oil and a little bit of water. So that's it for the ingredients. We'll now move on to the preparation. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to clean up the onion and chop it small, real small. So I'm going to do this off camera, and once I'm done, I'm going to come back to show you what to do next. Okay, so the onion is now ready. As you can see, it's really finely chopped. So next we're going to move on to the oven and start preparing the stuffing. Alright, so we're going to start the cooking part now. So here I have preheated some oil in a nice small pan. So now I'm going to add the onion in it. Leave it there just quite rapidly. Fry a little bit. I'll lower the heat just one notch. I'm going to wait real quick on this. In the meantime, I'm going to bring the rice. Alright, so I'm going to add the rice now, together with the onion, and the water, which will allow it to cook a little bit easier. So now you have to leave it and stir it, all the time, until the rice becomes slightly transparent. So this will take a couple of minutes, and once this is done, you're gonna add the rest of the ingredients, the meat and the spices. Alright, so the rice seems about ready for the rest of the ingredients, so I'm just gonna add the spices first. So the savory, the salt, the paprika, and the black pepper. Mix it all up and add the meat. Now what you want is everything to become nicely mixed together. So if when you add the meat you're having trouble with it breaking up in small pieces, you can always add some more water to help it break up and mix with the rice and the rest of the ingredients. So yeah, if you have to add some more water, mix it some more. and leave it to cook on medium heat for I don't know, maybe some 10 minutes until it's almost ready to eat, because the next part of the cooking will not be too long. It will be just to cook the peppers in boiling water, so this is quite fast. So yeah, in short, you want the meat to be almost ready to eat already when you start stuffing it in the peppers. So now I'm gonna mix it all together and leave it for a couple of minutes to cook. Alright, so the meat is now ready. The meat preparation actually, because it's not just any meat, but so you can see the meat is all browny. Basically, you don't want to burn it, so keep an eye on it while cooking, but this is more or less what you want to obtain. Now it's still very hot, so while waiting for it to cool off a little bit for us to be able to properly stuff it, I'm gonna clean up the peppers. So I'm just gonna show you how to do one of them. Probably the easiest on this one. So if you don't have one of them special tools that remove the tails of peppers, just take a nice sharp knife and cut the back of the pepper like that. So just make a circle and carefully remove it. Basically, you have most of the tail and all the little grains that come off. If there's some left, you can just top it a little bit like that, or use your knife to clean it a little bit. So as you can see, normally this is quite easy and fast to do. So now I'm gonna do the rest of the peppers while waiting for this to cool off, and then I'm gonna stuff it and stuff the peppers and continue with the cooking. Alright, so I've prepared all the peppers. Next I have to stuff them with the preparation, which seems alright. There's a temperature now. So I advise you to start with the biggest peppers, so that you can more easily arrange them at the bottom of your pan. So I'm gonna take one of these, which seems to be the bigger, and with a small teaspoon I'm gonna start carefully stuffing it with the preparation. Just be careful not to break the opening here, because they tend to be quite gentle, and if you break it, the contents of the pepper will more easily spill while it cooks, so this is not a good thing. So yeah, just use a small spoon like that, so that you don't break it. It's a bit tricky to split the stuffing equally, but you just have to manage. So once it starts getting full, you can still add some more and push it a little bit down, because especially if the pepper is not too straight, if it has a weird shape like that, but yeah. I'll try to put as much as it can contain. You will feel when it really cannot be stuffed anymore. And you keep adding it to not compress anymore. So at this point we'll have to seal it with the flour and arrange it at the bottom of the cooking pan. So I think this one is almost ready. Yeah, that should do it. It looks quite nice. So now that this is done, just clean it a little bit. You take your flour and carefully seal the top of the pepper with it. So just do it like that, hold it a little while for it to harden. So you obtain something like that. This will help the contents of the pepper to remain inside of it while it cooks in the water. So repeat the process a couple of times if you want to, and carefully put it at the bottom of your cooking pan. So that's basically it for this part. Now you have to repeat this with the remaining peppers, So try to arrange them well at the bottom of the pan. As I said, usually you should start with the bigger ones to put them nice and easy on the bottom, and just add the remaining ones. So that's it. I'm gonna continue stuffing the remaining of the peppers, and then I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, so I'm done with this. As you can see, I've arranged the peppers at the bottom of the pan. So now I'm gonna move back to the oven and continue the cooking, which will take maybe 30 more minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna show what to do in just when I move this over there. Alright, so here we are. Now this is important. For this part you need a plate, which a nice deep plate. If you can find something which fits well in your pan, it will be good. Basically, you don't want to have too much space around it, so you put it like this to hold the peppers down while they cook, and then you add the water. Do not add the water before, because they will start floating. So you hold the plate down and you slowly add the water. So you won't need a lot of water, just basically you want to cover the peppers a little bit. I put about 1.5 liters. So just add whatever you need. You see about that concerning the size of your peppers, the size of your cooking pan, and all that. So yeah, this is it. You can see you can probably see the borders here of the peppers. So just cover them, and next you just have to put them to boil on medium heat. It's important to not turn the heat too much up, because you risk to break the peppers in pieces when they start boiling a lot. So just leave it like that. Put the lid on and keep an eye on it. So once it starts boiling, you can remove the lid and lower the heat. Keep it boiling, but just to the minimum, in between at the point where it's boiling, and not just something like that. In general, it will take you about 30 more minutes for this to cook, and the way to tell that it's done is that the water level will go down, and the top level of peppers will start showing, and basically we need something like that of water, which will turn into the pepper sauce later on. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this like that for now, and as I said, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and I'll show you once it's done. Okay, everybody, this is about ready. Now just a little final touch that we have to do. So I'm gonna take some of the Bulgarian yogurt, cottage cheese, put it in a nice bowl. That won't take too much. Then I'm going to take a raw egg, break it in, and mix the whole thing together. Batter. So nice and smooth. Okay, now I'm going to carefully take some of the juice from the pan and slowly add it here and mix it. And the reason I'm doing this is to slowly mix the temperatures and equalize them, because if you add the very hot juice straight in, the white of the egg will probably coagulate. I don't know how to call it, but yeah. So just mix it. Like that. And once it's done, you add the whole mixture back into your cooking pan. Like that. And carefully mix it with a spoon. Just try not to break your peppers. Yeah, actually I did it a bit too fast, I think. You can see what happens with the white of the egg if you do it too fast. So maybe wait a little bit more for the mixture, for the juice to cool off some more. Well, it's not very important, but just a visual aspect. Normally you just like to have a clear white juice without those small pieces of yogurt and an egg inside, but I rushed it a little bit. I didn't wait for it to cool off. So yeah, too bad, doesn't matter too much. So yeah, that's it. Hope you like it, and see you soon at What's to Eat.